I was laughing hysterically.
Good morning. Wait, for any of you that got here just a little bit late, we've been playing Gregorian chant all morning. People loved it. I was a little surprised. Because I like it every once in a while, but it never ceases to surprise me. So we may have to do that again. So, things that make you go, By the way, I'm Pastor Phil. Pastor Janice is running around somewhere. There she is, way in the back in the other office, not paying a bit of attention. See, that's what's fun. I talked to her afterwards. I says, remember when I talked about it? She goes, I wasn't even there. Let alone listening. So that means I can say or do anything I want. Oh, YouTube sees me. Never mind. Okay, fine.
That's never stopped you before, Phil.
Well, I know it hasn't. It hasn't. A wise man hears one word and understands two. It's a Jewish proverb. And it just shows to go you that every time I go through this book, I pick up something else every once in a while. And this one I have never done before. Every individual or national degeneration is immediately revealed by a directly proportional degradation in language. Thank you. Thank you. I knew it's like, that's not the... Degradation, of course it's degradation. So you want me to read it again?
Yes.
I totally screwed the thing up. Every individual or national degeneration is immediately revealed by a directly proportional degradation in language.
Oh, that's good. Got it.
Makes sense now? Yeah? Patrick?
Yeah, I just want to comment. I went to see this movie recently, Walk in the Woods.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I went to see it because the theme of it, and Robert Redford was in it, and I knew it'd be pretty good. But the real turnoff was the language. I mean, my friends and I don't talk like that. We're about that age. And I just think it's really a shame they can't make it. It was a good movie otherwise, but they had to use the filthiest language you can think of.
Yeah. And now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a prude. I think the appropriate use of profanity is awesome. I mean, it's the only way you can describe a particular feeling at a particular time. But I agree with you. When it's in your common speech and every other word, and it's like, good grief, people. Anyway, there are people who, instead of listening to what is being said to them, are already listening to what they are going to say to themselves. Yeah, we've never done that, have we? Yeah.
No.
Never done that. Calendar. It's the blue one in the back. And we have months before, so if you're new and you want to see what's been going on for months, and also usually an article in the back. In fact, almost always an article in the back by Janice. But look at this calendar. It's awesome. It's like almost full. Unbelievable. Qigong, we start all services like at 9:15 in the back with Qigong, if you want to know what that is. Talk to Marianne. We have the emotion code with Crystal tomorrow. Wednesday is Interchange, Sandra and William. Intuitive Tarot on Thursday. Hey Jan, did you want to talk about the Tarot or not?
Sure.
And ARE also meets on Thursday. So we have two things going on at the exact same time. How fun is that? This is the Intuitive Tarot I was talking about.
Intuitive Tarot, yes.
Okay.
If you want to know the rules and regulations of how to read tarot, do not come to class. This class is about how to tap into your intuition so that you can read the cards and get direct connection with spirit and really get cycled in. Does that make sense? Am I making my words? I don't know. So, anyway, it's going to be really fun. It's only $20. It'll be ongoing once a month. I make these really cool layouts that we use that help along the way. So it's way fun. Hope you can join me.
Thank you. Caught red-handed. Ever wonder where that one came from?
Yeah.
Oh, you're going to find out. Criminal detection as a science was unknown before the middle of the 19th century. Early ages depended upon two methods, confession of a suspect by torture. Yeah, like we're not going to admit to anything when that happens. And catching a man in the act of committing a crime. Circumstantial evidence was not admitted in court. One common felony was the butchering of another man's sheep, pig, or cow. However, possession of the fresh meat wasn't enough proof of guilt. Only when a man was caught with a dead animal with blood on his hands could he be arrested with a certainty of conviction. So the expression came to be applied to surprising a person in the act of stealth, whether in violation of the law or not. Interesting. All right. Seeking a sage and wizened look, the creators of Star Wars modeled Yoda's face after Albert Einstein. Now you know. You also know that we have two patron saints by the name of George Carlin and John Lennon.
Hey, George and John.
And John, as usual, there is a great woman behind every idiot. And George, hooray for most things. Thank you, John and George. Bless your souls. God promises a safe landing, not a calm passage. He who angers you controls you. If God is your co-pilot, swap seats. Prayer. Don't give God instructions, just report for duty. The task ahead of us is never as great as the power behind us. Yeah! Atheism is a non-profit organization. Atheism is a non-profit organization.
Say it again.
Atheism is a non-profit organization. This just keeps getting better. Atheism is a non-profit organization. I wondered why the baseball kept getting bigger, then it hit me. A sign on the lawn at a drug rehab center said, "Keep off the grass." A small boy swallowed some coins and was taken to the hospital. When his grandmother telephoned to ask how he was, nurse said, "No change yet." The soldier who survived the mustard gas and pepper spray is now a seasoned veteran. Oh, and here's one for you too. Don't join dangerous cults. Practice safe sex. Don't ask me to say that one again. My tongue may slip. Baptism of an Irishman. Anything else going on I should know about? Hey, we had a great picnic last week.
Yeah.
Thank you for all who joined. Thank you, Joe and Val, for doing the cooking. We appreciate that. And the stuff afterwards, and the drumming.
Somebody
And
left a container.
Oh, I know, that belongs to Paula.
Okay, I want to make sure it gets back.
okay,
It's been sitting in the kitchen.
that's Paula's container.
There
Yes.
are eggs in the back, a few dozen.
Okay.
Exact change since I forgot the jar.
Okay, exact change only for the eggs in the back, and there's only a couple of dozen there. So,
They're in my phone.
and I know we brought our carton back, so we're good kids. An Irishman is stumbling through the woods, totally drunk, when he comes upon a preacher. I've done this one before, but it's still good. Preacher baptizing people in the river. He proceeds into the water, subsequently bumping into the preacher. The preacher turns around and is almost overcome by the smell of alcohol. Whereupon he asks the drunk, "Are you ready to find Jesus?" The drunk shouts, "Yes, I am." So the preacher grabs him, dunks him in the river. He pulls him out and asks, "Brother, have you found Jesus?" The drunk replies, "No, I haven't found him yet." The preacher, shocked at the answer, dunks him again, but for a little bit longer this time. He again pulls him out of the water and asks, "Have you found Jesus, brother?" The drunk answers, "No, I haven't found Jesus." By this time, the preacher is at his wit's end and dunks, "Hi, Toby." Dunks the drunk again, but this time holds him down for like 30 seconds. And when he begins kicking his arms and legs about, he pulls him up. The preacher again asks the drunk, "For the love of God, have you found Jesus?" The drunk staggers upright, wipes his eye, coughs a bit of water out, catches his breath and says to the preacher, "Are you sure he fell in here?" There we go. Wow. First time. Let's sing a song. Nope, don't remember what it was. We'll just sing whichever one comes up. Always one of my favorite songs, always one of my blessings to you all.
Un momento. You want to get this thing? Yes, I'm sure. Yes, I'm sure. I'm sure. Really, I'm sure.
You're not close enough. You're not aimed at it. There you go.
Thank you. Are we off?
Ooh, that's close.
All right, let's go a little bit
It's
further.
fine.
It's close.
It's close, but as long as you don't move the table, you're fine. Just don't bump it too much.
There you go.
That's good.
All right.
Thank you, Phil.
You're welcome.
Some people like to live on the edge.
He's on the edge right now. Okay, well, why are we having a table? Well, is this in the way of the camera? Are my flowers okay?
No, your flowers are fine.
Flowers are fine. Well, okay, now my bird will have to have it straight. I was a little concerned about today's message just because there's a lot going on that I want to share with you. And it's something new and different I've never done with a group before. Matter of fact, I've never done it with anyone. So I wanted to be really concerned. I want to be very careful with it. So I did a little time jump. And that's where you go in the future a bit and take a look and jump back. Yes, I can teach you how to do that. I'll put that on my list if you're interested. So when I jumped into the future and took a look at what was going on, I had a table with flowers and a candle. So I don't know why they're here, but apparently it's significant and important, so here they are. Anybody besides me warm?
Very.
Can we, Phil, can you, thank you. If I'm hot,
Dan's heating up the thermometer again.
thank you, Dan. Okay, so we've been talking,
I've got 4 hand fan if you want.
you know, I'm okay, I'll suffer.
Okay.
I can be a little distracted. So we've been talking about manifesting, and there's that fly again.
He's only saying that one time.
Same one that was at the picnic last week.
He came home.
His name is Fred. Fred. Go out, Fred. Go to the light, Fred. That's how a fly does the gnat. Fred, the gnat. Be gone. So, today, I want to take you to the precipice for manifesting. And here's the deal with the precipice. I want to set this up for you because it's important. We are going to go to the void. You're not going to go into the void. You're going to stay on the precipice and stand on the precipice in our guided meditation, okay? Are we going into the void? No. Okay. The reason I'm making a big deal of this is another guided meditation some time ago. We were going to go to the gates of the light, and we were going to look at the light, and I don't know what we were doing there, but we were doing that, and somebody went into the light, and it was like, I have a hard time coming back. Don't go there. We're just going to go look at it, okay? You're just going to observe, so just stay where you're supposed to be. So, the precipice, manifesting. Manifesting is this weird thing of this wonderful combination of our intent, our heart's desire, and divine connection. Without any of those, Without any number of those in that combination, we're not going to be manifesting. Let me give you an example. If you want to be rich, but you think rich people are mean, what are the chances of you acquiring wealth? Not. Okay? So there's things in our attitude, in our judgment about things that keep us from doing the things that we think we want. That make any sense? So here's the deal. The heart is the organ from which manifesting comes. Linked in with your intent, which is your decision, your mind. Linked in with divine source. When they're all in alignment, oh my gosh, stand back, shit happens. Stuff happens really fast. Really fast. Like me?
Yes.
Really fast.
Very fast.
Like, by the time you finish reading a statement, the phone rings and something is offered. So, things happen really fast. So, if you are in a manifesting mode, if your intent is clear and you're headed down a path, expect things to happen very quickly because they can. If they're not happening very quickly for you, or you have roadblocks, there may be a judgment blocking your path. And there may be that your heart's not really in it. You're doing what you think you should be doing, or what you think other people are expecting of you. So get to take a look at that. And then you get to take a look at, what is my divine purpose? Oh, well, there's now a whole other ball of wax there that we got to take a look at. A bushel barrel of stuff. What's your purpose? I could do a whole series of stuff on that one. But to put it in a nutshell, there's two ways to find your purpose. One is to find what you love. Follow your bliss. You've heard that a million times, haven't you? And the other is, what ticks you off? That's where your destiny is, because you came to fix it, right? The reason this church is here, because it ticked me off that you couldn't have faith, Christian faith, and the psychic stuff. It ticked me off. Why couldn't they? Why are they mutually exclusive? They aren't. Totally torqued me off. So, well, somebody should do something about that. Nobody else was. So when you find yourself really torqued out about something, that's probably part of your destiny. Make sense? Mm-hmm. Don't you hate it? But you'll love it. Trust me, it's the best thing ever happened to you. So looking at both of those things, what makes you really, really happy and what really torques you off? And often they're the same thing. Just different sides of that coin. And maybe there's something there for me to take a look at, focus on. And when you're locked and loaded with your soul's purpose and your heart's desire and your intent, then divine spirit, whatever that is for you, slams those doors open and there's no holding you back. And Phil and I decided, somebody should start a church like that. And we thought, well, maybe we'll just see if we can. So, oh my gosh, we talked to one guy and said, hey, could we use your conference room for Sunday church? He says, I've always wanted to be part of a church startup. Sure, no charge. Just come in and enjoy yourself. Way cool. So once you get locked and loaded in your path, there's no holding it back, right, Crystal? It's just easy peasy. If you're struggling, take a look at your intent. Take a look at your judgments that fall under that intent. What does your heart really want to do? What do you get spun up about? That's something to take a look at. And get in alignment spiritually. Well, how do you get in alignment spiritually? You get clear. You get clear of everybody else's stuff, judgments, opinions, expectations, guilt and shame. It's got to go. There is no room for guilt and shame on your journey. None. If you have enthroned the God of fear on your heart, kick his butt to the curb. That's a false God. God is love. God is light. God is abundance. God is grace. All of those positive things. And if you're expecting that God is punishing and hurtful and hateful, take a look at that. You're out of alignment. You're out of spiritual alignment. There's so much I want to share on that. I'm going to leave that for now because I have so many other things I want to do today. First thing I want to share with you. Psalms 37, verse 4. Delight yourself in the Lord, and He will give you the desires of your heart. He's not going to give you what you want. He, she, we, it, they, whatever your mindset is on that. Not what you want, but what your heart desires. Back to your heart space. What's in your heart? Well, I want it to be easy. Like Phil just read earlier. You're guaranteed a safe landing, not an easy journey. What does your heart want? Your heart wants to be valued. Your heart could really care less whether you're rich or not. Your heart wants to feel worthwhile. Your heart wants to feel love and appreciation. And you could do that, and you could find that in a myriad of ways. There's no formula. Here's what it has to look like for you. It could be anything that falls in that category of what is in the heart's desire. Does that make sense? Next verse. Commit your way to the Lord. Trust also in Him, and He will do it. So if it ain't being done, there's a misalignment here. Okay? Now let's talk about this misalignment just briefly. Sometimes what we expect and what happens are two separate things. What we want, what we desire, what is in alignment for us. Sometimes we just aren't sure what that's supposed to look like. See, I'm sorry, you come in late, front row's the only one left. That's okay.
Sorry, we got lost.
It's okay, glad you're
Not
here.
find this church for 45 minutes. It's all right. That's our fault.
It's all good. It's all good. We were just talking about manifesting and manifesting from our heart. And that it's really important to be in alignment with our heart and our destiny and divine spirit, whatever that is for you. And your destiny can lie not only in what you really, really love, what you really, really like, but it also lies in what you really are annoyed by and what doesn't fit for you and what you feel like there should be something done about that. That's often where a destiny lies. And we were just talking about being in alignment and how if we delight ourselves in the Lord, He will give you the desires of your heart. He's going to do it. So it's really important to figure out what your heart wants. Not what your head wants, but what your heart wants. I don't know about you, but my head wants easy. I don't want to work. I just don't want any struggle. Don't want any drama. I want it easy. I want to just skate through. Well, easy gets to be easy. But at the same time, some of the things that really have fulfilled me the best are things that have been a divine effort. An effort that you put in, you put your whole self into, but it's so much fun it's not work. That's when it's cool. That's when it's cool. One other thing I want to talk to you about before we dive into our guided meditation. And this comes from Luke, the 6th chapter, verse 38. Give, and it will be given to you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, running over, they will pour into your lap. For whatever measure you deal out to others, it will be dealt to you in return. How many people bake? Bake cookies? How many people make cookies? Don't you love cookies? I have the world's best chocolate chip cookie recipe. And it requires brown sugar. Have you ever tried to, if you've ever worked with brown sugar, you put brown sugar in and you mash down. There's room for more. And you put more brown sugar in and you mash it in. And there's room for more. And you mash more in. Pretty soon you have to pack that stuff in to get an accurate measure. You can just pack that stuff in. Divine abundance will be packed into your life. And the key is being the vessel, being open to receive, and again, being out of that judgment. If we view that people who have a lot of good stuff are mean or uncaring, chances are all that good stuff's not going to come our way because we're in judgment about that. So we get to look at that and we get to take a step back from that and be willing. So let's also talk about disappointment. Because there's times when you've had something you really, really, really wanted and you didn't get it and you were disappointed. And then you felt betrayed by God and you felt as if, gosh, that was, I'll never ask again. Sometimes we have dreams that die. They just don't survive. Because they're not really meant to survive. How many dreams have we laid to rest, Phil? Gosh, many.
Yeah.
And we thought, oh, this is it, this is what we really want to do, and we're really doing good, and it just doesn't go anywhere. And it dies a long, slow, miserable death. And we're so disappointed. It's like we're doing the deal, we're doing exactly what we should do, our heart's in it, but it wasn't what we were supposed to be doing. So sometimes disappointment locks us up from manifesting in the future. Because we're caught up in, well, that didn't work. Nothing's going to work from here on. So I'm asking you to step aside from that. When we go on our guided meditation, I'm going to give you a chance to step away from disappointment. Because that was then. You're not the same person now that you were then. Every one of those disappointing things that happened, we learned something. And we're really grateful they happened, as painful as they were. Because now we're in a place where we learned some stuff. So that when good things did come, we can handle it in a different way. And make more of the good happen. Cramming that stuff in there. That make sense? So disappointment. Is there anything else that could block us up from manifesting? That you can think of?
Fear.
Fear. Let's talk about fear. Fear of what?
Succeeding.
Fear of succeeding. Because if I do or I get or I have, then I'm accountable. I'm responsible. Then there's an extra measure of accountability for that. And that's a little scary. There's a lot of people here who are stepping out of their comfort zone and trying some new things, doing some different things. So let me say this about fear. Perfect love casts out fear. That's in 1 John. So if you're doing it out of love, the fear will dissipate. At the same time, I don't know about you, but when I'm manifesting, doing something different than I've ever done before, it's really scary. So there's a difference between being a little scary and being terrified and blocked up by it. So it's okay to be afraid. It's okay to be anxious. It's okay to be a little nervous. As long as you go, oh, wow, I'm really anxious, I'm really nervous, I'm going to take a step anyway. It's when we sit back and go, oh, I'm anxious and I'm nervous, I'm not going anywhere with that. That's when we're blocking stuff up. Because it's about the flow, one foot in front of the other, doing the next right thing. I think the other part of this is sometimes we think we have to know what it's supposed to look like. If I were to tell you 10 years ago, 18 years ago, 20 years ago, before the church was here, if somebody had said, oh, you're going to be a minister, there's going to be people in a church, and you're just going to really love that. No way in heck. No, I am not signing up for that. That does not sound like fun to me at all. But one little step took me a little closer. One little step took me a little closer. One little step took me a little closer. And here we are. And I love it. I didn't have the tools 20 years ago to be able to enjoy this. I couldn't imagine it. It was too big. It's still too big, too scary. Can't even look at the camera. I know you're out there, hi there. No.
She can't watch herself either.
I can't watch myself. Shannon says, oh, we broke another. I don't want to know how many people watch it. Just don't tell me. It's too scary for me. So it's okay to be a little apprehensive. Do it anyway. But letting fear block you because of, I'm afraid of what that's going to look like, you don't know what skills and abilities you're going to acquire next. So let go of the outcome of what it's supposed to be or what you expect it to be. You can have hopes and dreams about that, but let it go about what you want it to look like, because guess what? What you want it to look like may not be what your heart, soul, and spirit desire, or what divine spirit desires for you. And you may not have the tools yet. It's okay. Just the next right step. But know that as you take the next right step, and you give of yourself, and you give of your means, and you do the deal, you're like brown sugar, honey. It's just going to get packed in. And you're going to make the world's best chocolate chip cookies. Make sense? All right. Any questions before we proceed? You're not used to me asking questions for questions. All right. So I want to talk to you about where we're going on our guided meditation. We are going to go to the precipice. And the precipice is the edge. From the precipice, we can view the void. And the void is a place of all possibility. And let me tell you what I'm talking about. The void is not empty. All right? So back in Genesis, in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth was formless and void. Wait, the earth was there. But it was formless and void. It didn't have specific structure yet. Trees weren't there, animals weren't there, people weren't there, mountains weren't there, rivers weren't there. It was all the potential, all the possibility in its raw state. So where we're going today is to go to the place where everything is all potential and all in its raw state. And between your intent, your heart space, your desire, and divine connection will manifest. We will draw that manifesting that to us. Somebody's going to manifest a different place in the world. Sorry, I'm just off today. No, I'm not. It's just goofy. I'm just goofy today. So, are we going into the void? No. Are we standing on the precipice? Yes. Don't make me come in after you. Because I will. Nothing would harm you if you did, but it'll be a little disconcerting because there's too much of everything. So I want you to feel safer and I want you to feel a little bit better. All right. So before we go, what do you want to manifest? What is your heart desire? Where do you want to go from here? I don't know about you, but sometimes I feel like, okay, it's Monday. Let's do it again. One more week, just like last week. One more time. And one foot trudging in front of the other. That's not how to live. That's not how to live. We want to live from our heart where we can experience this joyful anticipation, appreciation given and received, and love and kindness, compassion, all of that. We want to experience that. So what in your life right now is not in alignment with that? Whatever that is, that's what you're manifesting a change about. So you don't have to even know what's going to replace that. Just become willing to allow whatever that discomfort is to be ready to be displaced. Now, if you take, back to cooking, if you put water in a jar, and you can measure shortening by putting shortening in the water, and the water is displaced, and then you can see how much is there. It's kind of a hard way to do it, but you can. If you put yourself in a bathtub, you displace the water's higher. So whatever you put into your life from here will displace the stuff you already have. And if what you have right now is not in alignment with your joyfulness, it's time for that to be displaced, is it not? So here's the challenge. Sometimes we want to manifest a better job. That might require getting a different education. It might require stepping out of your comfort zone. It might require doing something you really, really love and get paid for. But you don't know what is going to be required of you. So this is taking that step of faith. And that step of faith is keeping you on the edge of the precipice. You're not going to step off the precipice, right?
Right.
You're going to stay on the precipice. But even being on the precipice is a step of faith. Because you're in a place where you're willing for something new to come. Willingness is powerful, totally powerful. The AA people, they got it right. You know, sometimes we don't even have willingness. You pray, ask for it to be given to you. It will. It's a gift. You don't even have to have it. You don't even have to possess that yet. Just pray for willingness. Being willing for something new to come in your life that may shake you up. Well, here's the deal. We want something to come into our life, shake us up, be wonderful and new and different, but we don't like change. Am I right? I want it just the same, but better. No! No. So become willing. Be willing. Stepping into willingness is going to be really important. I'll walk you through that process when we get into the gun.